Hey guys, Raider here. Hope you're all doing great and having a fantastic day. So I've had the Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra since February 24th, so it's been about 2.5 months. And I can say with confidence that this is by far my favorite tablet of all time. However, I do have a few gripes with it. And before I get blasted in the comments section, like I said, this is my favorite tablet of all time. There are way more pros than cons. I mean, this thing is a media consumption productivity powerhouse, especially with its 14.6-inch OLED display. However, I do have 3 cons with it that I want to share with you guys. Please don't blast me in the comments. These are just my own little personal gripes with this device after having it for 2.5 months. But let's go ahead and talk about them. So gripe number 1 for me are the bezels. All right, so you see here we have these really super thin bezels which look awesome. I mean, they look great in person and it really is a pleasure to have it in front of you watching media. However, when you're actually using this thing in tablet mode, it can be a real pain. Let me show you what I'm talking about. We'll pull up YouTube real quick. It's pretty easy to demonstrate actually. We'll throw open YouTube, right? So we've got the home page open. So now just imagine using this thing in tablet mode. You know, you're kicking back, holding it like this, maybe with 2 hands, and you want to start scrolling up and down the screen. Okay, let's try that again. You see how, all right, let's get the thumb just over to the left. And I know what you're thinking, oh man, this guy's being a little over dramatic. But reality is, this happens all the time. This happens to me probably more often than not, because you're not sitting here thinking, okay, oh, I gotta have my thumb just right, just over here. You grab the device, you go to use it, you know, boom, you're like this. And look it works fine now. And now it's not. So this gets a little old. I didn't have this at all on the Tab S7 Plus. You know, with the bezels being a little bit thicker, actually quite a bit thicker, I never found myself running into this problem. So this is one gripe that I have. All right, on to gripe number 2. So gripe number 2 for me isn't so much with the tablet itself, it's with the book cover attachment that you can get for it, which is a common accessory. I know many of you that are gonna get this tablet will get it. My gripe with it is when you take this and you move it past 50 degrees, like where it's like a T right here, right? You see it's coming to an intersection. If you go past this mark right here, this thing just wants to, well, it just wants to do that. Like it does not have enough staying power compared to like the book cover keyboard for like the Tab S7 Plus and Tab S8 Plus. Because this has the same force, you know, the same resistance, I should say, as the book cover keyboard for the smaller tablets. So with this one being quite a bit bigger, it just doesn't have quite enough, I don't know, it's just, you know, you see what I mean here? And when you're writing with it, if you're trying to write, like I like this angle right here for writing. Let me show you. To where it's like this. This is like great, and I used to do this all the time with a Tab S7 Plus. This tablet, it's not happening, because that's what happens every single time. Just, I mean, and I'm not pushing down hard. It doesn't take much. All right, so let's move on now to the third and final gripe for this tablet, and that is the size. So look, I knew going into this exactly how big it was. I knew it was gonna be mammoth, and I'm not disappointed. It's met all my expectations, and what I'm about to share is not a surprise. It's not a surprise to me now. It wasn't a surprise to me before I bought it. It's just something you have to learn to cope with. And that is when you go to actually use this in tablet mode, holding it in your hands, sitting on your couch, quite frankly, it can be a little much. It really can. You know, sitting right in front of your face, it's not so much a viewing experience, it's how heavy and how big it is. Like just the hold. Especially with this book cover attachment. Let me put some perspective onto this real quick. So let's grab the Galaxy Book 2 Pro 360, right? Let's put this on top of here. So we've got a full-on 15.6-inch laptop. And when you go to use this in tablet mode, that's what you're working with. Look at that size difference. Not much. You know, you got like maybe 1.5 inches here, and the top and bottom is almost the same, you know, it's like a 1/2 inch. So I mean, this is like holding a monster in your hands when you're using it in pure tablet mode. And sometimes it can get a little bit frustrating when you're just chilling on the couch and you just want to have a nice little light tablet that you can hold with one hand and not really think too much about it. And believe me, when you're holding this with one hand, you're not going to be able to not think about it. It's going to be on your mind because it's got some weight to it, you know? Like I said, especially with this book cover keyboard, that really adds a lot of weight to it. I think the total weight is like 2.5 or 2.6 pounds with the actual keyboard with it, if you're carrying it along with you, whereas this full-on laptop is 3.1 pounds. So the weight and the size, I think this aspect of this tablet might get to a lot of you, quite honestly. Like, and this is what I'm talking about, that this is like my favorite tablet of all time in most cases. So in tablet mode, I miss my Tab S7 Plus. I really do. I kind of regret trading it in. I almost wish I kept it. Almost makes you kind of want to maybe get the Tab S8 Plus at some point in the future, because this is just it's a little much, you know. And don't get me wrong, it's great for taking notes and multi-window support. You know, you've got this big luxurious screen, but it's a double-edged sword too when you're trying to use it in tablet mode and just kind of relax, you know, when you're in chill mode, wanting to sit back. Well, I'll tell you one thing though that hasn't really been a con for me that I thought would be right out of the gate, and that's this. Well, you can't really see it right now, can you? And that's my whole point. It's very unobtrusive, and that is a notch. You see it right here, you know? It's not much. Like, not one time has this ever bothered me. Not once in the 2.5 months of owning this. All right, guys, so just a quick little video on 3 gripes that I have with the Tab S8 Ultra. For me personally, they're all legitimate gripes. You know, they are this whole bookcase cover thingy here. This book cover keyboard thingy, I don't know. It's just not quite as pleasing as a Tab S7 Plus. These bezels, again, it can be problematic. Sometimes it's all good. Sometimes it doesn't phase it at all. You know, we can go right here, especially like on the home screen and navigating here, it's cool. But when you're inside applications, like we opened up YouTube, that's when I really notice it the most, and it can be problematic. And then the pure size, guys, it's a double-edged sword. I mean, look at this thing. It is beautiful. It's an amazing screen. I love having it. But it comes with that price and that trade-off of just having a big monster in your hands when you're sitting around with it and just trying to use it casually. All right, guys, not trying to bash on this device in any way. Again, my favorite tablet of all time, just barely above the Tab S7 Plus. But no regrets with this purchase whatsoever, but those are my 3 little cons. All right, guys, as always, thanks for watching.